Hey, welcome back to our channel. Have you ever found yourself thinking, I'm not good enough or I can't do this? These are examples of negative self-talk, and it affects your brain more than you realize. So let's take a look at how negative thoughts affect your brain according to science and what you can do about it. The human brain is the most complex organ in the known universe. Just thinking about all the things you do every day, like walking, talking, and making decisions, requires an incredible amount of energy and coordination among its parts. All of those things and more happen below the surface without you even noticing. But sometimes things can go wrong, and that's where the amygdala comes in. The amygdala is one of several parts of your brain that work together to keep you alive. It controls your emotional responses, especially to things that could be dangerous. Like if you see a bear while you're hiking, your amygdala will trigger your fight or flight response so you can run away or confront the bear. But it doesn't only react to physical threats. It also reacts to psychological ones, like if someone says something rude to you. Your amygdala will perceive the situation as threatening, then tell your body to produce stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Then you can either fight by standing up to the person or flight by running away. These responses are normal and necessary. In fact, there are times when they're helpful. For example, if you have a big presentation at work and you feel nervous, your amygdala will kick in. That will help you focus and make sure you don't forget anything important. A little stress can even be good for you. Some studies have even found that people who experience some stress tend to perform better than those who don't. But what happens if you experience a lot of psychological stress over a long period of time? And what does that have to do with negative self-talk? Well, let's find out. Stress has been linked to a number of serious mental and physical illnesses. One reason for this is chronic activation of the amygdala. When you think negative thoughts, your amygdala gets activated. If you have them frequently, your amygdala stays active more often. This means that it's sending stress signals to the rest of your body more often too. Over time, this can lead to high blood pressure, weakened immunity, diabetes, and heart disease. And those are just the physical side effects. It can also affect your mental health. Chronic amygdala activation has been linked to anxiety and depression. But here's where it gets really interesting. Research suggests that negative thoughts can actually change the structure of your brain. Specifically, they can strengthen neural pathways that reinforce anxiety and depression. It's like a feedback loop. The more negative thoughts you have, the more your amygdala gets activated, and that leads to more negative thoughts. So how can you break the cycle of negative thoughts? It turns out that you can literally retrain your brain to think more positively. But how do you do that? Let's look at 4 ways you can overcome negative self-talk. 1. Awareness. Awareness is the first step to overcoming negative self-talk. You have to notice when you're doing it. And this can be hard since you probably do it without even realizing. Negative self-talk can be subtle too. Sometimes it can be hard to spot. So try paying attention to how you talk to yourself. Do you say things like, I'm not smart enough, or I always mess things up? If you notice these thoughts, it's time to move on to the next step. Number 2, challenge it. Once you become aware of your negative thoughts, you want to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought true? It may be obvious why you wouldn't say things like, I'm not smart enough, out loud to someone else. So why would you say it to yourself? Negative self-talk tricks your brain into thinking what you say isn't true, but it's still important. The American Psychological Association found that people who engaged in self-compassion showed less neural activity in their amygdalas when faced with negative images. This shows that negative self-talk activates your amygdala, but challenging your thoughts can reduce that response. Number 3, replace it. Now that you've challenged your negative thoughts, it's time to replace them. This can be hard at first, but over time you can train your brain to think more positively. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say, I'm doing my best right now. Even if it feels fake at first, your brain will eventually believe it's true. One study found that people who wrote down positive statements about themselves felt less negative and were less likely to give up when faced with obstacles. It's important to be realistic here. Don't say things like, I'm going to ace this test if you haven't studied, but you can say, I'm getting smarter every day. So be honest with yourself and be kind. Number 4, practice gratitude. The last step is to practice gratitude. When you're grateful, you're focusing on the positive things in your life, and research suggests that this can reduce negative self-talk. One study found that people who kept a gratitude journal were less likely to ruminate, which is when you keep having the same negative thoughts over and over again. Rumination can make things feel hopeless, like nothing you do matters and you'll never get ahead. But gratitude can help you break that cycle. So what can you do to practice gratitude? Well, you can start by writing down 3 new things you're grateful for each day. You could also write down 3 good things that happened that day and reflect on why they were good. For example, you might say, I got to spend time with my family tonight because we always make me feel loved and supported. In the end, changing the way you talk to yourself can literally reshape your brain and improve your mental health. It takes practice, but the benefits are worth it. So did you find this helpful? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more science videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.